Hi guys, welcome back to Broadway Online. We hope everybody's staying safe and staying healthy, and in the meantime we have another really exciting lesson planned for you guys. It's going to be a lot of full body today, so we're going to start with a nice full body stretch. So get yourself some water if you need it, get yourself in a comfortable, safe area, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so if you see me looking at my phone, as usual, I'm going to use our interval timer app just to make sure that I don't forget any stretches and I can stay on with the proper timing. But when you hear the beep, you can just take a look up and see what we're changing the stretch to and follow along with what I do. Okay, so we're all going to start in the pike position. We're going to put the phone down, we're going to go arms up, and with pointed toes, reach for your feet. Make sure your knees are straight, facing up towards the ceiling, toes pointed out. Good, and now we're going to go left feet, reach for your toes, and if you can go that far, try to pull your heels off of the ground. Alright, we're going to go straddle and reach to the right. Again, if you're wearing shoes, it's a little harder, but try and point those toes out, knees facing the ceiling. Good, and arms up, we're going to switch. Hold it, almost there. Very nice, so we're going to go out to the middle. Try and get your belly button as close to the ground as you can. If you need to rock back and forth a couple times like I do, it kind of helps you reach a little bit further. Alright, we're going to go to butterfly. Try and get your heels in as close as you can. Grab your feet and then push your knees towards the ground. If you need to use your elbows, you can. Alright, and we're going to slide our feet out and bring our nose down towards our toes. Good, and then we're going to just bring our right foot over and do a quick ankle stretch. So grabbing the foot, and I'm just going to roll it forward and backwards a couple times. And switch. Roll backwards. Getting into our Achilles stretch, one foot flat, the other's bent. Really pushing down into the ground. And switch. Alright, up on your feet, we're going to go arm circles forward. Just loosen up the shoulders and back. Try to make them as big as you can go towards the end. Good, then we're just going to pull our right arm across our body. You should feel this right up in your shoulders. And switching. We're almost done, guys. 3 more stretches after this. Let's see. Alrighty. Good, so hands together. We're going to go for our wrists now. Just rolling a couple times. Very good. Now we're just going to take our hands separately and do the same thing. We're rolling outwards, so away from your body. And our last one is just going to be our back stretch. Little twist. Alrighty. Alright, great job guys. Our stretch is now done. We should be feeling loose and ready to go. We're going to move on to the next thing. Alright guys, great job so far. We're going to move right along into our runs for the day. So if you are in an area where you don't have a ton of space, all the runs we're about to do, you can do stationary. Stationary is totally fine, but you'll see here I have a little bit of running room to go across. So if you do have that much space, I'd say we're working with about maybe 10 feet right here. That's perfect. It's plenty of room. So the first thing we're going to do today is high knees. So high knees is exactly how it sounds. We're going to lift our knees up every time we go. We're gonna also remember that we're doing opposite elbow and opposite knee. So every time your right leg comes up, your left arm will go up. Every time your left leg goes up, your right arm will go up. We also want to make sure that as our knees lift, that we're stopping right here. So it's about a 90-degree angle. Balance a glass of water on your leg, just like a table. Same thing with our arm. We're looking for that nice 90-degree angle. So we're going to try a couple right across. So remember, just push through the toes just like a jump and lift the knee up and then hit with the arm position. So let's try it. Good job. And a fun little challenge too is take the space that you're in and see how many you can do across where you are. So let's see how many I can fit in. All right. I probably should have remembered to count, but I did not, but it seems like a good number. So if you want to slow that down and watch and try and beat me, go ahead and give that a try. All right, so moving right along, we're gonna get into the butt kickers now. So with butt kickers, we're building right off of that high knee. We're just gonna kind of drop everything. So instead of our arms being here, we're gonna drop them right by our side. So now we're working with here. You'll see too, as my arms move, my shoulders are coming up. I'm really pushing into that run. Also, instead of our knees coming up, we're just gonna kick back now. So it's exactly as it sounds, just like the first one. We're just kicking your butt right here. So let's try a couple of those. Good. Remembering too to really try and hit those arm positions. They're very important here. So every time you kick back, you want to hit with the other arm. Swing in with the shoulders, get comfortable with it, and try to do the same thing, as many as you can in the space that you're currently in. All right, we're going to move on to our third one. Our third one is just going to be our skips. So now, we're pushing through that toe, but we're going to get more of a hop and everything. So let's take the high knee, for example. High knees, we're switching in direct positions every time. We're just going to add a step to that, which is going to be pushing it up. So instead of quick positions now, we're going to kind of try and drag them out. So let's try high knees. We're going to drag it out a little bit. Good. So you'll see that we're doing a step and a hop. So we're just kind of bringing it up. And the cool part with skips is if you are in a space where you have a little bit more ceiling height, or if you're outdoors, you can really just take this further and further and try and skip as high as you can every single time. So I'm going to try a little bit further without hitting my ceiling. Then you go skip up, up. Good. And we're just going to add a little bit more height to it. So these, we're not looking to do as many as we can in one area. You're actually trying to drag them out a little bit and focus on the height and really hitting your positions. Now, the cool part about skips is eventually they'll turn into something called a hurdle. Now, some of you might be familiar with what a hurdle is. A couple of you have probably done your hurdles into round-offs and things like that, but we're going to try the hurdle here. So just like a skip, you're going to start with that jump, but this time when we land, we're going to bring our arms up and hold that lunge position that we go into our cartwheel with. So you see now we're starting to kind of combine our skills and build off of them and turn it into other stuff. So if I'm a righty, meaning when I do my cartwheels, I have my right foot in front on the lunge. I'm going to start with my skip. My arms are down here. I'm going to skip up. So my right knee comes up, and we're going to try and land in a lunge. So let's give that a try. Good. So you see we go up, step, lunge. So as we're coming down, our left leg should hit first, step into the lunge. And opposite if you are a lefty. So your bad foot hits the ground first, good foot steps into the lunge, arms go up. I'm going to try that one more time. Good. And remember, that was our hurdle. So eventually that's going to turn into a hurdle round off. Could be a hurdle round off back handspring. There's a lot of really cool skills that come after that. So really work on perfecting that. You can slow it down in the video, watch it again, push off the bad foot, land, step, and hold that lunge. And if you're outside or somewhere with a ton of space, you can try a cartwheel out of that, or even a round off out of that, whatever you're ready for. So the really cool part about the hurdle and all of these runs that we're doing are, they're gonna end up being applied to your vault very heavily. So if you guys remember from being in the gym, we have that long runway, and then we either have a vault table or the big red mat. Now obviously at home, we're not gonna tell you to try and make a vault setup. That wouldn't be safe, so right now this is the closest thing we can do to practice. So we have the first part of it, we have the hurdles and we have all the runs, really working on getting yourself down that runway. But now we're gonna focus on the vault. So once you get to the vault now, you've done your hurdle, you've punched off the springboard, we're gonna work on the landing. So remember the jump stick. So when we stick, every time you land, you wanna feel a little bit of bend in your knees, absorb into the ground, and try not to have your feet move at all. I'm finishing with arms in front, and then once you feel good that you stuck it, your body's not moving, you're gonna lift up and try to click your heels together. So we're gonna try just a jump stick. So all we're gonna do is jump up, focus on the stick, and then a big finish. Okay, ready? So I'm pushing off my bad foot, jump, stick, finish. Good job. Let's try one more. So we're really focusing on absorbing that landing right now. Jump, stick, finish. Good job. And remember, what you're practicing right now, even if it's hard to understand, will all come together so when we get back in the gym, you are ready to rock and roll on that ball. All right, so I want to take this time now to revert back to something I just said, which was, and then the punch on the board. So we have the run down the runway, we have a punch on the board, how you get over the apparatus, so whether that be the mat or the table, that could be, some of you remember it as a handstand flat back or a straight jump, and then we have the landing, the jump stick. So let's go back to that punch for a second. So we just practiced our jump sticks. We're just jumping up and stick. But if we add a punch in there, in gymnastics when we say punch, that's kind of punching the floor with your feet. So imagine if I had a springboard here, when I say punch it, some of you will probably remember that when I say punch the board, it means you're gonna take your legs and really push off it. So it's like a big punch before your jump. So we're gonna try right now, we're just punch off the floor. We're gonna start really, really small, because we wanna make sure that we're doing it correctly and safely before adding any other factors. So for my punch stick now, I'm gonna go forward, punch off of the ground, and that's gonna kind of take me into my jump, then I can stick. So it's just gonna be swing forward, punch, stick. So let's try it. I'm gonna go forward, stick, good. So you'll see, instead of just kind of jumping right out that first step, taking a smaller step, punching so I can go a little bit bigger and then sticking. So the punch is gonna be really, really important when we have a springboard there, because if you wanna get over the vault, you're gonna have to make sure you jump up and punch there. You can't just swing into a little jump. The punch makes things a lot easier. So practice some punches too, and with all of those elements combined, your vault is gonna be stronger than ever when we get back to the gym. All right, you guys, today's lesson was very skill-based, and I want you to remember that sometimes skills that might seem easy are really gonna help when you perfect them. So if you perfect these easier skills, then the harder skills are gonna come more naturally. So I don't wanna throw too much at you guys right now. I really want you to focus on what we've done and focus on those arm positions, focus on your landings, and focus on perfecting each step that we've learned today. That being said, we have done a lot of heavy workouts at the end or beginnings of our lessons, and if we're doing them all, like you guys probably feel it as much as I do, sometimes you need a little rest on your muscles. You don't want to strain them too much. If you work them out, you got to have some recovery time, and you don't want to be sore at all times. So today we're going to end with a little bit of cardio. So we're just going to do a quick 2-minute cardio, cool down, make sure we're feeling good. After that is the time that I would say it's a great time to stretch your splits, stretch your bridges, keep up with your flexibility. That's something that you can do every single day. It's never a bad idea to work on your flexibility. So I have our timer up. Remember, it's going to be 2 minutes. Let's see what we're doing. We're not going to do breaks for this just because it is only a 2-minute cardio. We're going to do jumping jacks for 30 seconds, moving into burpees for 30 seconds. We have our shuffle touch and then our jumping crunches at the end. So take a little breath if you need it, get ready, and then we're just going to start our cardio. 2 minutes, and then you can move on to your stretch. Ready, begin. job, you made it through another lesson. Now is the point where I would recommend stretching your splits and stretching your bridges. You can do for as long as you want on either leg. Just remember when stretching your splits that your bad leg is just as important as your good leg, so don't leave that leg out. I hope you guys are having fun and you're learning. Before you know it, we're gonna be back in the gym, but until then, please keep tuning in. I love knowing that you guys are all still working just as hard as you were in the gym at your homes. We still have a lot of fun stuff planned to come, so keep staying tuned. And that's all we got for today, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.